Welcome to my show. It's me, Driti Atri, bringing you the top news from all around the globe that matters the most. So let's start with it. Well, Taliban issues shocking warning over the US-Iran conflict. The Taliban signals that it could support Iran if war erupts with the US here. Well, the statement raises fear of new regional alliances that are forming. Zabihullah Mujahid sends strong battlefield-style warning here. Taliban spokesperson says that Afghanistan could unleash all capabilities. Well, the wording suggests potential military involvement, not just diplomacy anymore. Afghanistan attempts to reposition as regional player. Afghanistan is now commenting on global conflicts beyond its borders. This marks a major shift from its past inward focused strategy. United States aircraft carriers become direct targets in warning. Massive warships like USS Gerald R. Ford, they were mentioned in the threat signals. Well, such references increase seriousness of geopolitical tension. Trump's Iran pressure continues to escalate. Donald Trump maintains sanctions and military deployment pressure. Well, this strategy keeps diplomatic negotiations highly fragile. IRGC-linked video sparks global alarm. Channels that are linked to Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps releases a threatening warning simulation video. Well, the visuals hinted at massive retaliatory strikes. Jordan Air Base highlighted in propaganda footage. Well, the video reportedly showed the Muwafaq Salti Air Base, which is a possible target. Its use by Allied forces make it strategically extremely sensitive. Experts suspect AI-generated psychological warfare. Well, security analysts say that the video appears digitally created rather than real strike planning. Here, one thing we know is that modern conflicts increasingly involve digital intimidation tactics. Russia declared open support for Iran. Russia steps firmly into the crisis with diplomatic backing for Tehran here. Now, this dramatically reshapes global power alignments. Putin sends strategic message to Iranian leadership. Russian President Vladimir Putin reaffirmed strong ties with Iran here. He called the partnership friendly and strategically vital. Iranian President strengthens Moscow-Tehran axis here. Well, Masoud Pezeshkian received assurances of Russian cooperation here. The alliance adds geopolitical pressure on the United States. Iran signals willingness to compromise on nuclear talks here. That's right, Deputy Foreign Minister Majid Takht, he confirmed openness to negotiations. However, Tehran insists that missile program remains non-negotiable. BBC reveals Iran's conditional offer to Washington. Reporters cited by BBC show Iran demanding sanctions relief first. Tehran says that nuclear restrictions could follow afterwards. Geneva sets to host critical nuclear negotiations here. Fresh diplomatic talks are expected in Geneva. Well, the meeting could decide whether tensions cool or escalate. China issues stern warning over Taiwan. China warned foreign powers against interference in Taiwan. Beijing considers Taiwan as inseparable part of its territory. Wang Yi rebukes Japan at Global Security Forum. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi criticized Japan's defense stance. Well, his remarks signaled rising Indo-Pacific tensions. Japan warns Taiwan conflict could threaten its survival. Their president, Sane Taichi, hinted at possible military response if Taiwan is attacked. Well, the statement alarmed regional security analysts. Munich conference turned into diplomatic battleground. While the clash unfolded during the Munich Security Conference, global leaders witnessed one of the sharpest Asia-Pacific warning. Netanyahu demands complete nuclear dismantling of Iran. That's right. Benjamin Netanyahu insists partial disagreements or agreements with Iran are dangerous. He argues that Iran must eliminate all nuclear infrastructure at once. Jewish Leadership Forum reveals the US-Iran strategic talks. Well, the statement was delivered at Conference of Presidents of major American Jewish organizations. Well, the remarks highlight deep security cooperation. Gaza tunnel war continues beneath the surface. Israeli operations continue across the Gaza Strip. Israel says that militant tunnel remains a major battlefield threat. Hamas underground network remains central target here. Israeli forces are working to dismantle infrastructure linked to Hamas. While the underground network is considered a strategic military asset. United States expands global oil sanction enforcement here. Washington tracked tankers suspected of sanction violation across the oceans. Well, the operation signals a new era of maritime enforcement strategy. Pentagon describes boarding missions as legal maritime inspections. That's right, Pentagon called the tanker boarding a lawful operation. However, critics question international legal boundaries. Venezuelan oil network under increasing surveillance here. Venezuela faces growing scrutiny over shadow shipping fleet. Sanction enforcement is expanding beyond the regional border. United States military shifts strategy inside Syria. Syria is witnessing troops repositioning rather than full withdrawal, while Washington aims to rely more on aerial operations. United States Central Command intensifies the airstrike campaign. Well, the US Central Command reports dozens of recent strikes. Operations continue targeting the extremist militant networks. Strategic Al-Tanz base handed over in coordinated exit. While the US forces stepped back from Al-Tanz garrison, the withdrawal may reshape regional control dynamics. Anti-terror campaign against the Daesh continues. Military operations remain focused on destroying the remnants of Daesh. Washington insists that counter-terror priorities remain unchanged here. Global security landscape enters highly volatile phase. Multiple conflicts now intersect across Middle East and Indo-Pacific threats. Analysts warn that small trigger could ignite large-scale geopolitical crisis. And with that, that's a wrap-up of our 30 news bulletins from around the globe. From Israel to Gaza, from the US to Japan, the world is changing and so is geopolitics. But don't you worry, me, Driti, Atri on TimesXP is here to give you all the latest updates and keep you updated. See you tomorrow.